Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. As I sit here earlier in my backyard, and I'm watching some of the gophers, I guess they're gophers, uh, and I'm watching them go into the ground. Now, in this ground, it's either a tunnel for a passageway or it's a home in there someplace. Things that they do when they get out of the way. You think about the rains that come and how those can be flooded out, but I'm sure they got some other plan that preserves them. And as I think about that, I also think about little small animals like this and how snakes crawl around on the ground between grass or wherever they gotta go, prey, looking for something to devour. And all of a sudden, and they got the small thing. You poison them with some venom or just suck them on down inside and let nature take its course. And I'm asking myself, what's going on? What is with that? And I think about some of the stuff I see on television, the stuff that happen in these foreign places that I've never been, Africa and other places, where you got these big animals, tigers, and pandas, and what these little things called? Well, but I'm thinking when I look up and I see these guys attacking one another, eating an elephant, buffalo, and I'm thinking to myself, what is all of this about? I know these animals that's going to be consumed don't want this, because when they find that they're in danger, they scream, they run, they holler, they fight back, they do everything to stay alive, and yet they are consumed as a meal to keep somebody else going. I'm thinking about, is what's in these that's being eaten and those that are eating, does this represent a society that's barbaric, animalistic? When they duplicate these same things, they're doing the same things to one another that these animals are doing to one another. They're robbing them, they are in every form and fashion, causing pain and suffering, homelessness, lack of education, health care, just like a cobra taking a rat, a mouse. What's up with that? I was thinking maybe these animals like that are being punished because maybe they once were in bodies like ours. They didn't learn anything, so they were reduced to this level, and they have to go through these changes to survive. And I'm sure they're just as smart about their lives as we are about ours, or as dumb about theirs as we are about ours. Anyway, I'm watching this stuff and I'm thinking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I remember years ago when I was growing up, I was a Christian man what I mean by Christian man, we were going to Christian churches, talked Christianity, talked Jesus Christ. And there were others who talked Islam, Muslim people. They had a spokesman by the name of Elijah Muhammad. He might have had a different title, but I called him the spokesman, the major spokesman. And he was saying that white people were devils because of what they were doing to black people. They were doing exactly to black people the same as these animals I just got through describing were doing to one another. So this was human beings doing stuff to human beings like animals doing stuff to animals, but only the prey, the prayer, and the same here. And so, but we in Christianity were constantly saying love. Well, love, we didn't see We couldn't even see eye to eye with the philosophy saying that white people were devils. We just couldn't buy into that. We knew they were wrong. We knew they were doing evil stuff that we didn't like, and we knew they couldn't be Christians. We knew that because Christianity said that they wouldn't do that. Christianity told us that everybody was so important that the Son of God, the only one, was so fantastic that came right here to let us know that he was representing God. He was representing God. The Son of God, the Jesus, was representing God. And he was saying that people, all people are so important. But his major focus was those who were hurting the most. The captives, those that were hungry, those that were just out there lost, those that were blind and crippled, didn't have anything going on. He came there most to tell them, but as a sign to all, letting the poor know you don't bend to these guys. They just have taken over everything, but they don't really run nothing. And he also said, yeah, they will try to exploit you. They will offer you the world. Not only will they pay your mortgage, not only will they give you a job so you can pay your mortgage that they set up. Not only will they pay you enough money so you can have one of those fine cars and you can travel all here and travel all there to keep you ignorant and stupid and away from God. Not only will they do that, they will offer you the world. According to what Jesus' message was about, they will offer you the world. And what was Jesus' message to the rest of the world, especially to those that were poor? Don't accept that, because the power that made you, the power that made me to do all the kinds of things that I've done before you, that power is out there. That's your power. Trust in that power. Even if they want to kill you, because you know that's the main thing everybody is concerned about on this earth. Nobody wants to die, even though they know they're going to, but they'll wait it out. So when they promise you that if you be too bullheaded, too bold, they're going to kill you. So you say, well, I just wait it out. And so the world gets end up being treated, and we be acting just like these snakes that's eating these other little animals and these other big animals that's eating big animals, just consuming them as a meal. And it seems like there's nothing that can be done about it. Well, this message that Jesus said, well, check me out, Christians. Now, whether you believe it or not, this is the message. Watch this. Turn your back on the world. Turn your back on that evil stuff. When I say world, I'm talking about the stuff they call the lie. The lie that man is God. That's a lie. So turn your back on that and know that God is a power that is evident, but you can't put your hand, you can't put your eye. It's invisible. So trust that and watch me. And so when he rejects everything, he even rejects not only the system of the world. For those of you who might have forgotten, I know you heard it. He didn't just reject those who run the powers of the government. He didn't just reject the Constitution. He did not just reject the Supreme Court. He did not just suggest the Department of Justice. He rejected all that stuff and stood for something better, stood for righteousness. And not only that, he went over there to those that were talking about God and rejected them, told them they didn't know what they were talking about. And all of them, the ones that were talking about God and the ones that he was talking about the government, come together and we're going to get him. Everybody had their little role. Some people didn't know the role that each other was playing, but those who had a need to know knew. And so they took him on to the cross and they did him in. But what did he say? He said to the people, look here, let me show you something. I'm not lying to you. And he rose on a third day and came back and said, I'm trying to tell you, you don't have to listen to those who will oppress you. You don't have to listen to those that will rob you. You don't have to listen to those that will make sure that you're hungry, those that will make sure that you can't have access to health care, those who will just do anything and rob you and take it, become the richest people, not just in your town, in your state, and in your country, but the richest people in the world. Why people? No, you don't have to listen to that. You stand up for what's right. Expose those jokers for being what they are. Somebody might call them devils, but they're not devils because they're white. They're devils because they're controlled by evil. And that can be any color. Devils controlled by evil. Ain't got nothing to do with color. Expose them. And if they want to kill you, you're doing a good job. If they want to kill you, you're doing a good job. If they don't want to kill you, you found a part to settle in and you don't matter. You hear me, churches? You found a place to settle in, and you don't matter. All you want to do is get a building and have people come there on certain days, and you get up and act like you somebody, and they sit there and act like you are too. And they are playing a role because they're sitting out there doing whatever you want them to do. And then going back, and the world is being eaten by the snakes and those big things. So what we need to do, if we want peace, if we want prosperity and freedom, if we want joy in our lives, and if we want our dreams to come true, we're going to have to change the way we see things. We're going to have to see things in a different fashion, and we're going to have to walk according to that fashion. And that fashion must represent what we say we wanted. Now, if you want these things, you're going to have to guarantee that those things that are essential for survival, every man, woman, and child must know that they got a place to stay. They must know that they got food to eat. They don't have to fight the snakes and write off animals. No, they don't even have to fight you. Why? Because the food has already been provided. We're working toward doing that part that we do to make sure that we don't have to fight each other. And everybody's fed, everybody's educated, everybody got health care, transportation, and all of the infrastructure. We're just enjoying it, and the things that come through our imagination, we're doing miraculous stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I talk to you about that, I'm telling you about something. Why you want to trust people who are saying black people in America don't need to vote. People of color, let's take that back. Let's make sure that their voices don't matter. And they want you to sit at the table. And as they're doing that, they are doing it right now, ladies and gentlemen. They are making these rules and regulations right now, just as they have decided that they're going to control women. Women don't know. They're the plan going to put you back in your place. And you're going to take it unless you stand up and do something. But you just can't stand up for that particular right. You got to stand up for righteousness. You got to stand up that everybody, and you will know. Because as long as somebody there's hurt, they matter. So that tells you, bring it all in. You got to tell the system. And what is the system? The system is you, the people. You messed up. You got it, as what the Will Smith was saying, entanglement going on. You got to straighten that stuff out. And once you straighten that stuff out, we can straighten the system out. And then we can live. I mean, we can really live. I want to tell you this stuff this morning that you wake up, you're going to find white people trying to say something about some black people are done. Black people going to say something that white people are done. Republicans going to say something that the Democrats have done. Democrats going to say something that the Republicans have done. And what are they fighting against? What are they doing? Trying to push you away from the other and draw you toward them. Push you away from the other and draw you toward them so they can be empowered and they can control some stuff. And the stuff that they do, they're not going to be concerned about whether they work for the others. Because that's the systems of men. That's why I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, when you got that as an outcome, you screwed. You ain't serving God nowhere. There ain't no righteousness in that. And if you want to know the righteousness, look around. Is there any pain anywhere? No pain. Shit. Is there any suffering going on anywhere because of this policy? No suffering. Shit. Is there any crime and violence being stimulated because of these kinds of policies? No crime and violence. Shit. That's telling you. That's telling you what righteousness is. Come on, we got some kind of sense. We don't need people to tell us everything. Think. There's someone, it was said, that do unto others as you would have it done unto you. That governs what's appropriate. Because you don't want it to happen to you, and you can bet your last money no one else wanted to happen to them either. You want it to happen to you, you can bet they probably do as well. That's when you care. Life is not complicated. Life is not a big old room of books and rules and regulations for people who are following the natural path to life. All that stuff in books and rules and regulations, that's nothing but a scam. That's a result of scams. They're trying to dictate scams, how to walk through the scam, how to do this. Come on, people. Don't make folks think that I got some sense. I really don't. I'm just telling you what I just got told. Now, I'm going to leave it for now, and I hope it wasn't a waste. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.